Welcome aboard, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we are playing Legend of Dragoon. Today is the episode. I think we will finally finish Disc 3. It's going to be this episode or the next. It just depends how long getting through Velweb takes. It's not particularly a long dungeon, but there's a lot of extra stuff we can kind of do and sneak around. So we're going to see what we can do. In the last episode, we got our revenge barely on the optional boss, the soul armor. Albert managed to pull off the win at the last second. I definitely don't recommend fighting that boss with the two weakest magic defense people in the party. I very quickly learned that, yeah, no, that dude mainly uses magic. I would probably, looking back on it, would definitely recommend putting in Miranda, Maru, and honestly, probably Rose or Dart. Let me see who has the higher. 115, 127. Oh, yeah. See, it should have been the three ladies, because their magic defense is way higher. So I honestly, if you're going to try and do that boss fight as early as I did, and you're about the same level as me, go ahead and just use the three ladies. Just use the magic items. Just spam it like nobody's business. Probably make the fight a lot easier. We get the first look at our enemies of this area. I love these little dudes that they're called Terminators, I believe. Yep. I don't know, like they're kind of a goofy design. Like, I get they're supposed to be like a combat robot, but like one foot is like a weird saw blade thing, and the other one's just like a spike, which, yeah, that makes sense. And then they have different weapons, but the old witch has always been kind of a cool one. Don't know why she's just here hanging out with two robots, but we're not gonna shame their polycule. We'll just let Miranda just start whooping. Most of the enemies here are neutral, or what's the correct word? They are non-elemental. That's the right word I'm looking for. Apologies. It is early in the morning and my coffee has not kicked in. Oh, crud. Okay. All right, Congo. All right, not Congo. Also, the Terminator's attack pattern has always been like just this like little earworm that gets stuck in my head. So, no apologies. I will probably more than once narrate that attack just because I don't know why. It's always been like a little earworm. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. I'm royally out of timing here. I think I'm gonna have to fight a couple enemies real quick to get my timing back. That's disappointing. I am using a different controller but I don't think that's the problem. My normal controller, it finally gave the ghost up, and the A button no longer works at all, and I found that out while playing Monster Hunter Wilds with some friends against Gog Mazios, and let me tell you, fighting Gog without being able to dodge, only a Lance main can do that, and unfortunately I'm a Lance main, and no, it was not fun. Okay. You know what? What's Congo at? Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fight a couple times, get Congo's Bone Crush to level 1, and then we're gonna swap him out for... Oh, man. I think I'm gonna go put Rose in, because we haven't really fought with Rose in a while, and I really want to go ahead and get her final edition, because she's, I think, technically the closest. Oh, hello, Miss Succubus. young boys everywhere in 2001 lost their shit at these polygons. Don't be fooled. She can do, if she comes in a group of 3 or more enemies, or not more, 3 enemies, she can do the Captivate spell like the Peacock did in the Evergreen Forest. And yeah, it can be annoying. She is a little faster than most other enemies, so you might have to worry about it if you're running with the party I am where they're slow. Alright. I'm just gonna keep doing basic attacks with Miranda because she takes for my opinion, she takes the longest to get her Dragoon to level 5 because she doesn't get additions and they just scale with her level. But once you get her to level 5 Dragoon, it's a whole different ball game because she has so much magic and she can just spam her healing spells if you're having a hard time. There we go. Well, all right, we're gonna do one more. Well, you know what? Let's just keep walking, and I spy with my little eye a treasure chest and 2 NPCs. All right. Let's see. If I miss any treasure chests, y'all let me know. This is, I think I know where all the dungeon treasure chests are, because I don't think there's any hidden ones here. Now I could be extremely wrong. Don't be fooled by these dudes. These guys absolutely hit like a fucking truck. I think these are the enemies that can do the most damage in this area, and they're a bit more of a rare spawn. When they do, I think they're all... Yeah, is it this attack? Maybe. Nice. But yeah, I think today we're gonna get some more answers for who is Emperor Diaz. And we're gonna get the story going, and I'm really excited because there's some cool reveals if you've never played the game. This is kind of where it's like, oh, things are starting to make a little bit more sense now. Alright, so we just need one more for Bone Crush, I think. We'll know in the next fight or two. Okay, so oh, okay, it's automatic. Dart, look at that huge battery. Humans shot huge arrows from there, aiming at the Tower of Flanville. Back then, humans thought this way. Humans thought this way. That the arrow would not only shear the darkness that covers the earth, but also shear their corrupted hearts which were accustomed to being ruled. Why are you suddenly starting to say this? I don't know. I still cannot tell. But if we meet the guy who claims he is Diaz, I think we can find out the reason. Speaking nonsense again. Let's keep going. A hero from history is waiting for us. So, fun fact, when I first played this game, I was a little kid. I didn't know that battery was originally an old term for like giant ballista and stuff. So I was like, that's how did a battery shoot, you know, a giant arrow? And I was like, oh, it just shot an electric arrow or something like that. But nah.
Brother, there are no customers here. I'm not doubting your word, though.
Don't worry. Believe me, there's always customers, even in this kind of place.
Okay, I believe you, brother.
Huh?
You're right, brother. There really are customers.
It's all due to the skills in my passionate merchant soul. You have to learn from this. I sell weapons.
And I sell items. Or peddlers.
Must be fated that we would meet here. Why don't you take this chance to buy something?
Let me thank you in advance.
I don't know why I gave those voices to them. I just felt like being stupid. Okay, so these guys sell some of the best stuff in the game. Like, at this point in the game, you cannot beat anything. So, if you didn't get the Giganto armor earlier in the game, I don't know how, I can't remember how you get it. I know I did it. You can get it as like an optional chest or something for Kongol. This is a great place to pick it up. This is a decent place to pick up energy girdle for Haschel, and in fact we're going to do that because the 50% more SP makes leveling his Dragoon up really well. So if you're not running bandit shoes or anything like that, this is an excellent place to buy a ring. And you can give it to whoever you want, but Maru is a top tier candidate because she is so fast, and I haven't really shown her off as much because I know how overpowered she is, so I'm really kind of saving her for last. You give her this and her final edition, she's hitting as hard as Kongol in some instances, depending on type matchups and stuff, but she'll be like the second or third hardest hitting physical attacker, and because she's so fast, she just out DPSs everybody else in the game, except for maybe Haschel under like the correct circumstances. So if you have the spare cash, absolutely buy, I'm gonna buy 2. And we're not gonna equip it yet because I need to see who all has what. Yeah, so these are the other 2 brothers from the guys in the Kashao Glacier. Alright. First things first, we're gonna sell a bunch of these items. Attack ball. Total vanishing. Okay. I don't use the smoke ball. It gives you 100% chance to escape from non-bosses. I've never used it. I'm not gonna hold on to it. I just don't see a need to. So if there's some hidden use for it, let me know. But I've just never, ever felt the need to use it. Okay. Is there anything? All right, let's buy. So he sells healing fogs, and we definitely got to get some healing items after the last boss. All right, we got some Sun Rhapsodies. Gotta buy more Angel Prayers. Wow, he didn't sell any magic items. I really thought he sold some multi-use magic items, but I guess not. Okay, so on with the story. But yeah, the Giganto rings, we'll actually, after this fight, we'll go see who I want to give them to. That should have been 20 for Kongol, but we'll make sure that he hits the other guy one more time just to be sure. Now that's definitely level 2. Damn, Albert, I didn't realize you were that low. Okay. So let's do some party maintenance real quick. Get everybody what they need. Alright. Okay, so Kongol is out for sure. So we're gonna throw Rose in. And now, so Dart would be a good candidate for the Giganto Ring because he is using the Night Shield. Hold on. The Rose is at 106. I think that would put her at 126. 160. Ashel's also another excellent candidate. Wait, what did I put on Dart? Okay, I did put a Night Shield on. That's weird. So Maru, I could go ahead and give her the Giganto Ring. And in fact, I'm going to. She doesn't need the speed. Yeah. So this is where you can play around, like, with Kongol's speed issue. Like, technically you're going to do a good bit more damage with this, but you're also going to be slower. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Giganto Ring on Albert since he's in the party, and then the Dancer's Ring. What is the... Oh! Ooh. Do I want the Dancer's Ring for... Yeah, I think I want the physical ring because it gives Rose that much more HP. And then... Oh, man. I really... You know what? Let's go buy one more Giganto Ring, put it on Hashel, and then... Because I have the cash for it. That just boosts him up a little bit. And then we're going to buy one Healing Fog and just use it on Albert real quick, since they no longer sell regular healing potions. Okay. With that, we should be hitting a decent amount harder. What edition do I have on Rose? Okay, so we're selling more and more, which that's fine. Okay. I've been waiting for you. You're Shirley. Why? Why are you here? You ascended to heaven, I thought. Before that, I had something I had to take care of here in Velweb. I couldn't leave the trapped souls alone in this world. Are you talking about... Yes, the 4 souls of the Dragoons who lost their lives during the Dragon campaign. Their souls were drawn to Mayfill, the gate of the Inferno from which you can never return. The gate from which you can never return is requesting the souls of the Dragoons. The Death City Mayfill? I thought it was destroyed. I don't know how, but it is true that the gate of the Inferno is open. Rose, I made their souls inert and anchored them in this place. But there's a limit to my power. After you meet Diaz, please visit this place again and lead their souls to heaven. Souls of the Dragoons are wandering somewhere in the towers. But we have to take care of something else now. Let's go find Diaz. Alright, so this is a little zone right here where is a free heal spot. I know there's no indicator. But you can go in and out of this area to get some additions and level grinding done. Pretty good spot because enemies here give decent XP, they give decent gold. It's not a bad idea if you feel like you're a little underleveled, because after the next little bit here in like, I don't know, 5-6 minutes, you are kicked out of being able to come back for a, like you will not be able to backtrack to anywhere for a long time. Because once you start disc 4, there's no like going back to any areas for at least I'd say probably a good 45 minutes, 50 minutes of like speed play. Like if you know exactly what to do and where to go, you'll be able to pretty quickly do it. But the average person's gonna take like 2-3 hours. Oh, you coward. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, we got a free healing fog. Yeah, so it's not a bad spot to like grind levels because you get good healing items and things like that. You can go up to the towers. Right now, I don't think you can actually get anything from the towers. Could be wrong. I know in some of them there's like a treasure chest or something. Okay, come on. Oh yeah, okay. So you do get the cutscene of like what they look like, but they won't fight us yet. Anybody. Just satisfy me. Yep. That's one of the Dragoons who lived during the Dragon campaign? Shirley said that she's making them inert. That's why it doesn't recognize us. There's no reason to be here now. Yeah, so I think probably you won't be able to do anything. And I don't think there's any like super strong items here. So it's not really much of a point of exploring the towers right now. Rose just takes too much damage. Easy enough. Albert's doing most of the heavy lifting for right now, unfortunately. I don't know if I've ever been this far in the game with only using Rose's More and More edition. Usually if I have her in my party, that's like end of disc 1, you have that maxed out. And then the witch.
Die. More and more.
Nice. Excellent. Alright. We're just gonna go back down and then... Hey, free heal. After you meet Diaz, please visit this place again and lead their souls to heaven. Yeah. Okay. So so like I said, excellent spot to grind levels. Alright. Getting to the end of Disc 3, where a lot more stuff is going to get revealed.
Die. More and more.
Not running away this time. Oh, oopsie. Wrong button. I was deciding between using a magic item or not. This is way overkill, but I don't really feel like dealing with Albert hitting himself in the face. To me, this is, I'm just going to back walk so it pans down a little bit. So down below, it looks like the ruins of like a city or below, like just to the left of Dart. And I was like, man, it'd be cool if we could like explore that place, like the down below us. Like, cause like this is like gotta be an ancient, it's like, it's an ancient city. Yeah. So in each of these, one of these doors is the correct one and the other two lead to treasure chest. Yeah, we'll go for the spring hitter. And one of the items is really, really strong. I don't know if I remember what the other item is off the top of my head. I don't even know what it is. We'll find out. But I know one of the items has a lot of interesting lore. Excuse me. Has an interesting lore implications. You're not getting away. Yeah, that's right. We got that. I don't know what they stole, but we got it back.
Die. More and more.
Damn it, Rose. Now's not the time.
Yeah, this is the correct way. These two are the items, I believe. Maybe? Am I tripping? No, that's the correct way. Oh, God. Don't go that way. I want to get the other items first. Okay. Rose's hairband. Okay, this is an item that has interesting lore implications. So we all know at this point, Rose is from 10,000 years ago, and she was in love with this dude, the original fire dragoon named Zeeg. And we learn from fighting the optional boss at Fort Magrid that they were supposed to get married after the final assault on Cadessa. And unfortunately, Rose was Rose the only survivor? Because Zeke was petrified. Then Shirley died in the explosion. The Earth Dragoon Belzac died by protecting Shirley. Was it Belzac? Kazis blew himself up. And then Suvel died in the fight. We didn't see how he died. And then the Water Dragoon. Yeah. So Rose was the only survivor after everything, from me doing math, right? I think. So that means that after everything was said and done, she came back to visit at least once. And I suspect that I think she came back and she couldn't, after all, losing her friends and her lover. I think the headband probably had some significant meaning to her. Either it was a gift from one of the Dragoons or something, and she'd left it here as a way, kind of to forget about it. But so Rose's hairband is a free talisman, and it increases her magic attack by a couple points, lowers her defense. It's pretty good. However, it's it's probably a little bit better than the tiara, but the tiara does make it a little bit harder to miss. But I'm gonna rock Rose's hairband just because it's But I think that item, first off, having been here for so long, she came back to this place to put it there, because nobody else would have been able to get that from her. So it's not, I highly doubt she would have lost it and not gone and recovered it. So she definitely came back here at some point to mourn the loss of her friends and her lover. And I think it kind of seems like symbolic. She put that hairband down as like a way to move on as much as she could. But that being said, let's confront Emperor Diaz. Shada! Huh? Diaz, here are all 3 divine moon objects. There are no more obstacles to hinder our utopia. Release the girl. Fine. Diaz! What are you going to do with the divine moon objects? Didn't you hear it from Lloyd? My only desire is the advent of the last species. If you are the true Diaz, you should know what that implies. Total destruction. What are you? Lloyd. Well done bringing me the Moon Gem, Moon Dagger, and the Moon Mirror. Now we can let the Virage Embryo, the god of destruction, the last species we desire, the true Virage, arise. I will create the utopia you wanted after the Virage Embryo purges the world. Everything so far was an overture to that. Lloyd, he showed you a false utopia from the beginning. You deceived me. My utopia exists in the future of this world. What I desire is the creation of the future, not the destruction of this world. I don't need you anymore. Sent his ass to the Shadow Realm. Diaz! What are you thinking? I don't need to hide anymore. Ooh. Animated cutscene.
It's been a while. Rose, Dart. Father?
See! Oh, it cannot be!
Really, you, Dad? You died! With Melbo Frama on each other's swords! Rose, what are you talking about? Now I can tell you everything. The beginning of the world was an absolute nothingness. Darkness. The creator Soa sowed a seed to the earth. This is the plan of Soa that created all species, the birth of the divine tree. Eventually, the fruit of the divine tree ripened and fell to the ground to fill the world with life. Gigantos from the 97th fruit. Menitos from the 99th fruit. Dragons from the 105th fruit. Humans from the 106th. Winglies with magic power from the 107th fruit. And at the end, the Virage embryo, the god of destruction, was to be born from the 108th fruit. Soa desired the destruction and regeneration of the world by the Virage embryo, the god of destruction. However, 11,000 years ago, Winglies found out the tragedy waiting for them and sealed the 108th fruit by separating the flesh and the soul. The flesh of the god, the flesh of the Virage embryo, was taken away from the Winglies as the moon that never sets, that glows in the sky. And the soul of the god was captured in the crystal sphere, and Melbu Frama kept it. Yes, to withdraw unlimited magic power from that and to conquer the other creatures. However, even with unlimited magic power, the domination was not eternal. Humans arose with dragoons in front. Nothing was their match because they obtained the power of the dragon. Finally, they drove Melbu Frama into a corner. I felt certain of my victory. And it was in the next moment the spell of petrification cast by Melbu captured me. I have waited for 11,000 years. Time, almost eternal, dissolved the spell of Melbu, and I was released from captivity. Days spent with Rose became the eternal past. And I lived as the father of Dart in this age, until the tragic day in need. I can't believe it. I'm here, that is a fact. Then, both Dad and Rose? are the heroes of the Dragon campaign? Yes. But that's not all. Humans made a mistake. Silly humans destroyed the crystal sphere, which was the container of the soul, along with the royal capital Cadessa. The Virage embryo, the god of destruction, was exalted. It could now be born. The free soul released from the crystal sphere started to wander, in order to go back to the body left in the moon that never sets, to be born as the last god, and to destroy the world. The soul without a body possesses a human body and heads for the moon that never sets by repeating the transmigration every 108 years. You now know the soul of the god of destruction is the Moonchild. The truth of the Moonchild in the legend. Count 108 years, and when the moon that never sets glares in red, the Moonchild descends to the earth and shall give a holy blessing to the world. The holy blessing is the destruction. The destruction is Sowa's will. This is the fate that rules the future of the world. But there was one Dragoon who found out about it. In order to deter the birth of the god of destruction, she has had to kill the moon children by stopping her own time. She was even called a demon. That is the true self of Rose, the Black Monster. Rose is the Black Monster? Tell me it's not true. The Moonchild has to be killed, and the people around it too, before they become the servants of the god of destruction. Neat. Neat too? For 11,000 years, there have been no exceptions. God! Why you? Why do you have to be the Black Monster? That's it. What are you going to do? Let me tell you one more truth. Rose, you thought the Princess Luvia you killed 18 years ago was the Moonchild. But it's not true. Huh? Luvia had a twin sister. No! Shauna is the Moonchild. Shauna is the soul of the Virage embryo, the god of destruction. I'll dissolve the signet of the moon that never sets and cross it with the Moonchild. Now, I have everything in my hands. Release Shauna! And are you going to kill her to save the world? I'll kill her! This is the limitation of humans. Zeke, why? All is the will of the creator Sowa. My hands start the world, and my hands end the world. Yes, fate desires it. Dad, wait! Chana! Chapter 4, Moon and Fate. Whew. Alrighty. Whew, that's a lot. Let's get to this cutscene, and we'll end the episode after discussing that a little bit. I'm totally beaten! We came all this way, and we can't go back. Yes, we did. No need to return. The city of Wingley's, Rose said, is just over there. What was it called? Alara? Oh, we can find out what we should do there. I hope so too. Whew. Alrighty. We're in the Death Frontier. So I tried my best to I put my whole chest into that narration. I hope it comes across as halfway fucking decent. But that being said, that is one hell of a plot twist to come in as a child, or as a young child. Yeah, I was like 12 or 13 when I first beat this game and got to this point. Let me tell you, did not see it coming. Like, I had kind of figured out Rose was the black monster based off of some of the cutscenes, and the 3D animation looked sort of like a Dragoon, and I was like, Rose has been around for a long time. Something tells me she knows more than she's letting on. So I'd kind of figured that out, but I did not see Zeke being Emperor Diaz. I thought, since we've never, as far as I know, anywhere in the lore and extra material stuff, we were never told what happened to Diaz after the Dragon campaign. I think he probably died, of old age or something. Because, I don't think he was killed in the final fight, but we don't know that. So let's say he wasn't killed in the final fight, and he went on to become, the Emperor of Gloriano, the human world, for a little while before it was split into the three countries, which seems to happen pretty quickly after the end of the Dragon campaign. Probably like a decade or so. That's what I would guess, just on what I would consider a normal like a timeline. 10 years to stabilize like the world and probably deal with the remnants of the Wingleys that were still fighting and stuff. And then probably Diaz, could have been getting old, and he was like, this is too much. We don't want a human empire controlling everybody. So I think we need to split the world up into three. And I think to me, and that's my headcanon, is like Diaz ruled for a little while and then, went on. But that's my headcanon. There's nothing supporting that as far as I know. If there is, maybe that's where I got the idea from. But the fact that Zieg was alive this whole time, like for 10,000 plus years, in the petrification spell, and it finally came undone. And then he seemingly, like we figured out that he was actually. Was that where it was revealed that Zieg was Dart's dad? I think it was. Like, Dart in all the flashbacks never referred to Zieg as his dad. And it was, it was very heavily hinted at after looking at like Zieg's character model in Neat, and then seeing the cinematic where they took down Cadessa. It was like, all right, they're pretty similar looking, and like it's not like 10,000 years or something like that. It's not like you would look exactly like your ancestors. I kind of thought maybe he was like the reincarnation of Zieg. Dart was, for a little while or something, because he was so similar. And Rose like even comments on like how much they look alike. Even Rose never thought to think that Zieg was alive and well, and Dart was his kid. Part of me wonders, like, did she try and find Zieg's like body in the ruins of the capital, or was like that part of the capital where him and Melbu struck each other down like completely collapsed in rubble? But then also it's like, it's been 10,000 years, Rose, like, or what, you have every 108 years is when you got to go out in the world. Like, I feel like over 10,000 years you probably could have excavated a large portion of the ruins. by yourself, even. I mean, I don't know. So I think maybe she just thought that his body was crushed in the rubble. I mean, he was turned to stone, and what happens when stone gets stone piled on top of it tends to break. So, I mean, she has a reasonable suspicion. Had there been any indication that Zeke might have been alive, I feel like she would have been, like, pouncing on it to, you know, handle that, to try and find him and rescue him. But I think she kind of just was like, you know what? He's dead. Everybody else is dead. This life sucks, but, you know, she probably had duties to, as the last Dragoon of the campaign, to help Emperor Diaz set up the human realm and all that. So she was probably really busy for at least the next, I don't know, 30, 40 years. And she did, it's going to be revealed pretty soon how she's still alive. But I mean, like, that's wild to me. Like it was such a crazy good reveal. And like, there's still more revelations to come in the 4th chapter, but what a way to end the third disc. If you were playing on the regular PlayStation right then, you would have to swap disc, and most of the time that's where you, like, it prompts you to save. That's where, because you had to swap disc, they weren't going to list you. They didn't really want you corrupting your save data. But yeah, that's like a 10 out of 10 way to end a disc, is on a huge reveal. And then the opening cutscene of chapter 4 is everybody in this place called the Death Frontier, which we're going to learn about a little bit more in the next episode. And like, everybody but Rose is kind of like talking and walking in step together. And even like, she looks at Dart in that little, like, right there. It's like, ah, man, like, I know tensions are going to be high, because Rose basically could have told them at any point, like, hey, you know, I'm actually 10,000 years old. You know, I'm from the Dragon campaign. Like, I don't feel like that would have changed anything about her character. Like, there was no need for her to be secretive. Like, these are the new Dragoons. It would have made more sense as soon as she realized Dart was a Dragoon and he awoke to his power. She should have been like, yo, I'm actually one of the heroes from the Dragon campaign. Like, I can tell you all this history. And like, I can tell you because I was there. To me, I feel like I understand they were trying to, like, keep it hush hush and make it a good story reveal, but realistically, she loses nothing by saying, hey, I'm a survivor from 10,000 years ago thanks to really powerful magic. Spoiler, that's how she's immortal. Effectively does not die of old age. She just doesn't age anymore. She can die, but not of old age, or disease or anything else like that, probably. You know, so it's like, and you know, she didn't have to reveal that, hey, I'm the black monster, like, I'm having to kill this thing that's going to bring about the destruction of the world, which also doesn't make sense. Like, if you discovered there was a god of destruction that was capable of being born every 108 years, why would you not tell the, like, at least the royal family, what would become the royal families of the countries, like, yo, there's this person called the Moonchild. They are not good. They even if they are not conscious of it, they are going to bring about the destruction of the world. They have to die, or we all get wiped off out of existence. And this is where it comes to, like, a moral argument. Sorry, I know I've been going on rants on these past couple episodes, really, but this is where it's like, oh, I really like to do a deep analysis of the morality and the moral choices. It's not like, it's one thing to condemn somebody from birth, that, like, oh, this person can't live because of things they might do in the future. It's like, okay, can we really kill someone who has yet to do anything in order to save the world? Or do we let them grow up, and after they start doing these bad things, then we kill them? I see Rose's viewpoint, because she survived the war. She was like No, that power is way too much. Like, Melbu Frama was able to harness the power of a god and was able to quite literally rule the world with an iron grip for 1,000 years. And she's like, we cannot repeat that. We can't let anybody know that's what the Moonchild actually is, because if somebody was smart enough to figure out how to replicate Melbu's magic technology to seal the soul away and draw unlimited power, they're probably going to have a repeat of history, except this time it would be humans doing the oppression because they're the dominant species now, because all the other species have kind of been wiped out over time. Like the Gigantos are gone except for Congo. The Winglies are almost dying out. We see like one Minitos in the overworld, so they're super rare. You see some more later, but they're, it's like, so humans are the dominant species, so who are they going to oppress? Well, they're going to oppress other humans and probably wipe out the other species. That's just what humans are as a nature. Like, you look at modern, like, look at the real world, like racism, like uber nationalism and all these things that like cause humans to hate other humans for no reason, other than they look different or they believe something I don't believe, so therefore they're wrong. That's pretty much what a lot of human conflict boils down to, besides like wars over natural resources and stuff. But that's human greed. It's like, oh, they have, this country has this food supply. Well, I think our country doesn't have that. We should go steal it. Instead of saying, the peaceful option would be like, hey, we have goods you don't have and you have goods we don't have. Let's make a trade. Like, let's work together. Let's trade. Like, we can provide you inserts. Like, let's say a mountainous country has access to ores, and then their next door neighbor is like on a fertile wetlands that can grow crops. It's like, hey, we'll trade you iron ores for your farming implements and other things if you trade us food. They're like, but instead it's like, hey, we have the iron ore. Let's make the weapons and go take over this. That's just human. That's human history. That's a whole fucking like several college courses and all just it's a whole tangent. So I understand why Rose is like, no, we can't even risk letting people know about why the Moonchild existing. And also apparently like Diaz/Zeke says the Moonchild has this special power to bring people under their control. I think it's more like a hypnotism, or they're or so charismatic that people naturally follow them, and like they're going to become like a new like religious leader. And when you have the masses behind you, you're basically untouchable, as we see in modern world. Just like if you got fame, money, you are basically untouchable. Look at the Epstein files. All those people, all those sick fuckers, they're basically untouchable. The only country to have prosecuted anybody in those files is the UK, and there was a former, and they, Charles, he's no longer the prince, but they're the first country to do something. But nobody else has done anything to anybody in those files. So like clearly, if you have fame, power, or fame and money, that therefore gives you power, and then you're just untouchable. Because even some of the public a lot of the public opinion is like they need to be prosecuted, but then you still have some that are like, nah, they didn't do anything wrong. This is all hoopla, it's a witch, it's fake, all that stuff. So like you see what would happen if like an actual god in this instance was like, follow me and I'll bring peace to the world. And they seem to be doing that until they get to the end game, and it's like, yeah, sorry, I never told you how I was going to bring peace. I'm just going to wipe you out. And everybody's like, I can't believe this. But I still think Rose should have told or left some record of like what happened. And I get stuff is lost after 10,000 years. but she's been alive for 10,000 years. Why not just go visit the royal family every decade or so and be like, yo, don't forget, this shit's happens. And then like, she will become a living legend. It's like, because like a king would talk about his great-great-great-grandfather who has met this dark-haired woman who visits once a decade to remind them about their duty to protect the world from this evil god of destruction that takes on the shape of a human. You know? So like she would literally, like she would be a living legend to every royal family, even if she's a national kept secret, like this, you know, this mysterious figure can just pop up every now and then and be like, yo, help me out here. And then also another thing is like, did a previous Moonchild establish the religious lore that the Moonchild will bring holy bliss? Or was this like Soa in his writing his doctrine and giving it to, you know, civilization, being like, and Soa's like, hey, just so you know, there's gonna be a, you know, a special person come around every 108 years. Y'all need to do what they say, because like that would make sense, because Soa is unequivocally like not evil. He's like playing in a sandbox. He's like, oh, I created this world. I want it to go how I go. Like, Soa's on such a higher plane of existence than the characters in the game that it's like, oh, we can't really understand their moral comprehension, like, really. And Soa's motivations are never really spelled out. It is explained what Soa is. He's not a god, actually. If I'm like 90% certain that this was explained in like a lore book or something, or an interview by the director. Soa is from a race of aliens that travel the universe and populate the worlds of the planets, raise life on them, study them, and then destroy them in order to achieve like perfection or something like that. It's some vague notion, but they go to these different planets. Soa's not the only one of his race, but he's the only one we ever are told about. And they go around and kind of like the architects in the Alien and Prometheus franchise, and Aliens in Predator franchise, like they were this species that went around creating life as like a science experiment, and after they were done with it, they would try and wipe them out in the form of the black goo that pretty much wipes out all life and mutates it, and then they can just bomb it from the atmosphere. That's kind of the whole architect's whole thing, was create life and decide, oh, we didn't like it, and keep going, because they wanted to create life in their image, which they sort of succeeded with humans, but that's a whole other series. So that's pretty basically Soa's shindig, is like, I'm gonna go to this planet, put life. It didn't turn out the way I wanted it. So I had a built-in reset button. Let's hit that button. And so that's kind of what he does. And we don't know how many planets Soa has actually done this to, but you know, outside of that. So like Soa is kind of this weird thing. He's just like this nameless figure that it's like, oh, Soa's will. It's like, I think life on this planet was kind of programmed to try and follow Soa's will, which is just his plan. It's not even a will, it's just this genetic code that's embedded in all life on the planet we live on. But all right, that's enough of that. I've gone way too long on this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like what you're seeing, like and comment down below. I respond to every single comment, or I try to. If you really like what you're seeing, I really love for you to subscribe. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers by the end of the year. I think I'm sitting at like 38 right now, 39. So we're slowly going up a little bit. And I mean, we're already a third of the way there. But yeah, if you have any like game suggestions for me to play after this, because disc 4 is very short in the long run of things. It's pretty easy to blitz through it. But I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.